Before we get started, I'd just like to say that I sincerely hope you enjoy this review, and if you do, don't forget to like it, subscribe to the channel and click the bell to get notified whenever we post new content just like this. And if you are in the market for a brand new van, car or pickup truck, and even a Luton, don't forget to head to vanarama.com and check out the deals. This is the Renault Master Luton Low Loader, and I think everyone knows what we're talking about when we say Luton van. Big box at the back, little bit of van at the front, and that's it. Review over. All right, fine, let's just give it the full Vanarama road test. Now, this particular off-the-shelf Luton Low Loader is very much exactly what you'd expect from a Luton. It's got the Luton body, and on the front it's got the front of a van. And now this particular one is the front of the Renault Master, chopped off, put on top of one of the long wheelbase chassis, and a Luton body built onto the back. And you know what that means. It means a big boxy loading bay, absolutely tons and tons of room, a 12,000 kilogram payload, up to 19 cubic meters of load volume, and a very low loading lip to make getting things in and out really, really easy. Now, the kind of businesses this would suit would be removal firms, delivery drivers, couriers, anyone who has to travel really big, bulky loads. Basically, it's bulk rather than weight, because of course the 1200 kilogram payload is not as high as some medium vans, and in fact the Renault Master panel van's payload is an awful lot higher. One of the things that was most amazing about this Luton conversion, however, of the Renault Master is that it's done with the front wheel drive engines. Now, every single Renault Master since the beginning of Renault Master time, which was 10 years ago, are all 2.3 litre turbo diesel injection engines. But they've been refined 3 times now. So you've got your first version, you've got your second version, third version, you've got the current versions right now. And in the particular Luton Low Loader that I'm driving, there are 3 engines that you can choose from, the details of which are arriving just underneath my chin right now. As you can see, you've got your choice. You can actually have an automatic version of this vehicle if you like, which is just going to show how versatile this vehicle really is. In the end, I genuinely believe that the businesses that would require a Luton van could do a hell of a lot worse than going for a Renault Master Luton Low Loader. It's convenient, it's no frills, it's tried and tested. The fact that the platform and the van has been around for 10 years shows that it can last with the best of them. That this is a vehicle that hasn't needed massive facelifts. All it's needed is the odd lick and a flick every now and then to keep it up to date. There's something quite nice about that. And I've got to say, when it comes to practicality, this vehicle is practical. You can really see the profile of a traditional Luton van. I mean, this is why delivery drivers, removals firms, this is why they love this vehicle, because it is just a massive, great big storage container on the back of a tried and tested van front. And I mean, to be fair, look, if you wanted to lease something like this and get your branding on the side, I mean, look, you've got a flipping great big, I mean, this is a billboard right here. This is a billboard. Okay, there's no need to describe it as anything else. It's just huge. You've got massive, great big tough steel wheels as well. Of course you do, because on a chassis cab like this, of course you're going to need tough, durable wheels. You've also got some nice metal reinforcement at the side down here, and that just holds the slightly more flexible sides of the vehicle together. And before we head round to the right to the back, don't forget, these are your door locks down here, and I'll show you the function on the door just as we get there right now. And if you're wondering why I'm dancing, it's because it's absolutely freezing out here. At the back, well, look, I mean, look at these massive, great big 50/50 doors, and these are a little bit different to a normal standard van door, which looks kind of like a nice flush panel. These are purpose built. Now, okay, right, the door opening mechanism on a Luton is a little bit fiddly, but here's the cliff notes. Press that bit in there, pull that handle there, push this bit in here, pull that handle there, and eventually they just open up. Pretty easy. There you go. And these ones open up to their full 270 degrees, giving you massive and easy access to this enormous loading bay, which is just gigantic. All the measurements and all the dimensions are going to be appearing around me right now, including the maximum up to payloads. To just make it a little bit easier so that you can decide which one will work for you best, as I said, engine size will affect how much this vehicle can carry in terms of weight. So there's 3 payloads, okay? You've just got to be aware of those when you choose which one you want. Other than that, it's a pretty typical Luton interior. You've got the over-the-cab storage over there, which is an absolute hallmark, an absolute trademark. And one of the most important things to remember when you're looking at the fixtures and fittings in here is because this is not technically a conventional van with panelled walls, you've got to use different securing mechanisms. So you can't use ratchet straps. In fact, it says right here, you've got to use shoring poles and you've got to use over-centre straps to secure your loads, which is why they give you all of these loading rings and all of these fixtures along the side right here. In fact, on some versions, you can even choose to have a roller shutter. You don't have to go for these doors, but I think these doors are the most secure method and secure solution for keeping your van nice and safe on the market. And there we go, that's the loading bay. Let's head round and take a look at the new cabins. So, I mean, this van's been around for a while, okay? Let's just get that out there. This van has been around for quite a while, and it is beginning to show its age. I mean, the cabin is new, and it looks nicer than it did before, but it's still basic, I think is probably the way to describe it. Basic, and I think nowhere is that more obvious than the infotainment system, or basically what passes for the infotainment system in the front end of this Luton Low Loader. Again, I'm not going to criticise it because at the end of the day, Luton Low Loaders are meant to be functional, reliable vehicles, and actually all the bells and whistles might distract from that purity. So I'm not going to criticise it too much, but I am just going to say it's very proud of the fact that it has Bluetooth connectivity and it even has MP3 written on the front of it. I don't know what that means, like it can play MP3s, because if that's the case then the Microsoft Zune could play MP3s. So let's just keep it in context, right? There's an aux-in jack, which is great, which means you can plug your smartphone, which incidentally has more functionality than this infotainment system right here. You can plug that in right there and you can listen to music. That's great. It's also got a USB socket in right there, which is great because it means you can charge your phone up if you've got a USB adapter. There's another USB adapter behind it, but in an age when USB-C adapters are really coming to the fore, you can tell this ain't the most modern van on the market. But it's got a great steering wheel. It's got very functional little stubby stalks. It's got a nice drive information display, and to be fair, the dashboard instrumentation is incredibly clear. There is a lot of storage in here. There's storage bins over here in front of you, along the top of the dashboard. There's cup holders at either end. You've even got overhead storage as well. And you've got a nice kind of letterbox shaped bit of storage up here as well to hold, you know, something shaped like a letter, maybe. Brilliant, they thought of everything. There's a great big glove box. There's a fantastic bench seat as well. It's a really functional and really comfortable cabin. There's not a whole lot else really to say about it. It's no nonsense, it's no frills, and that's why it's so competitive when it comes to price. I'm gonna go. The driving position and steering height is, well, exactly what you'd expect. If you've sat in the front of a Renault Master, it's exactly the same here. It's comfortable, it's functional. I mean, the seats aren't exactly cutting edge ergonomic, but they are very nice to sink into. The spongy foam is very good, very responsive, and keeps you, you know, nicely bouncing around, which is great. It's exactly the sort of bare minimum of what you'd expect a van's front end to do. And it is beginning to hoof it down. So what's really left to say? The chances are you're not really going to have your head turned by a van like this unless you are specifically looking for a Luton Low Loader version of a popular van. Now look, the Ford Transit Custom is often converted into Luton, so is the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter, and those are great vans. But the Renault Master has been around for 10 years. It's tried and tested. It will probably outlast most of those vans into the next ice age in its current incarnation. And that's absolutely fine. If you're looking for a no frills, no nonsense, tough, durable Luton Low Loader van, the Renault Master version of that type of vehicle could be exactly what you're looking for.